as most of you know, that PS5 Pro has been officially announced by Sony. Ab, uh, what to say, there has been a lot of backlash with respect to this announcement because of the price and other things. Um, let's watch the presentation by Mark Cerny, PS4 for PS5 Pro Technical Presentation. देखते हैं.
I'm Mark Cerny. I'm excited to be here to talk about the newest addition to our console lineup, PlayStation 5 Pro, and how it advances gaming technology. But first, I want to take just a minute to look at what we put in the original PlayStation 5 and how it delivers an exceptional gaming experience. When PS5 debuted in 2020, it brought a lot to the table. 8 Zen 2 CPU cores form the brains of PlayStation 5 and enable high-speed complex gameplay, with character counts reaching into the hundreds and frame rates that can be as high as 120 frames a second. PS5 has a powerful RDNA 2 GPU, which can render anything from intricate details to fantastic worlds with vast panoramas to explore. Ray tracing allows for dramatic visual improvements, including reflections off of water or glass, and the realism that comes from real-time global illumination. A custom SSD can load data at breathtaking speed, resulting in ultra-fast transitions between game worlds and data streaming rates so high that traversal speeds are essentially unlimited.
You okay? I'm working on it!
Tempest 3D audio tech brings an unparalleled sense of immersion to the sound of the games. With audio so real, you may not even need to see the enemies to know exactly where they are. Finally, the DualSense controller has haptics that let you feel through your hands what your character is experiencing inside of the game. It's wonderful to see such variety and richness of game experiences. Creators have made amazing use of the hardware capabilities, but when I talk to them, I do hear about their desire for more graphics performance. The dreams of the developers are bigger than can be supported at 60 frames per second, and that leads to an aspect of modern gaming that we're all familiar with: graphics modes. It can be a difficult choice for players. Fidelity modes emphasize the visuals, typically through higher resolution rendering. These modes might also have enhanced detail or use more ray tracing. But the games only run at 30 frames per second. The visuals can be choppier and the controls less responsive. Performance modes emphasize frame rate and interactivity.
I think it was from some game developer. उन्होंने बोला था कि they didn't have any issue with the 30 frame per second. They say that it will make it feel like a movie like experience, and now we have Mark Cerny accepting that 30 frames per second might feel a bit choppy. That's interesting.
Typically choosing to run 60 frames per second. Mainly by reducing the graphical detail until those frame rates can be achieved. When asked to decide on a mode, players are choosing performance about 3/4 of the time. Removing that decision, or at least narrowing that divide, is one of the...
3/4 as in 75%? Is it true? I don't choose a performance mode that often because मैं तो graphic fidelity ज़्यादातर use करता हूँ. I'm not sure about others.
Key targets for PlayStation 5 Pro. We want to give players the graphics that the game creators aspire to, at the high frame rates that players
stuck.
Typically prefer. To do that, PS5 Pro substantially improves over PlayStation 5 in 3 ways. Here's what we call the Big 3. First, we made the GPU much larger and increased the speed of the memory it uses. The result is rendering that's up to 45% faster.
45%.
Second, we made major upgrades to the ray tracing, taking a streamlined and accelerated approach that allows calculation of the rays at double or even triple the speeds of PlayStation 5. And finally, we added custom hardware for machine learning and an AI library called PlayStation Spectral.
So 45% as in, okay, in terms of teraflop, I read that it is like 33 teraflop, जो कि काफी it's amazing that they were able to achieve that. So yeah, in terms of computation, it's pretty impressive.
Super Resolution, or PSSR for short. PSSR analyzes the game images pixel by pixel and can add an extraordinary amount of detail, which boosts the effective resolution of the games. Game creators are adding PS5 Pro support to new and existing titles, and with the big three involved, the results can be pretty amazing, with graphics showing something like fidelity levels of detail, but at double the frame rate. Here's The Last of Us Part 2 running on PS5 Pro. It has huge amounts of detail and targets a super smooth 60 frames per second. Let's compare this to the fidelity mode on PS5, which is only running at 30 frames per second and is therefore much choppier.
Still, it's like a couple of
This
years
goal
old
of
game.
delivering
If I'm not wrong, they are showing Last of Us
almost
2.
fidelity-like graphics at performance frame rates has been achieved for a broad set of titles, including Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. We can see that PS5 Pro is close to doubling the power of PlayStation 5.
Couple of years old game.
Another way to compare the two consoles is to look at PS5 Pro versus Performance mode on PS5, both of which target 60 frames per second. What we see here is a difference in detail. PS5 Pro is much sharper and crisper than PS5.
Really?
For this, PS5 Pro is much sharper and crisper than PS5.
I mean, I can see some resolution bump, no doubt. लेकिन मैं इतना zoom करके game खेलूँगा नहीं ना. If I'm playing a game, I might not notice that much, but yeah, I can see the reflection of glass. There is a difference in the reflection, but okay.
PS5. For this, my favorite is the parade scene from Ratchet & Clank. Distant details are much clearer. And here we can see Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is noticeably higher resolution throughout the scene, including the trees and procedural cars. Including the tree.
Okay, resolution is, I can see there is a bump in resolution, no doubt in that. But again,
Trees and procedural cars. So overall, some remarkable improvement to the games. On PS5 Pro, we can see increased sharpness to the graphics or smoother and more responsive gameplay. This is the big three showing their value. As you've been seeing, machine learning via the PSSR library is being used quite broadly to add pixel detail and boost frame rate. But there are as many approaches as there are game engines. The increase in raw GPU power is being especially effective for Horizon Forbidden West. Apart from the detail boost, that extra graphics power is allowing for improvements to lighting and visual effects, as well as to the hair and the skin in cinematics.
Open up, guys. Jorv's orders.
Good enough for me.
Ray tracing is finding broad usage as well, particularly when the games are focused on higher frame rates. The faster hardware in PS5 Pro can make a real difference, allowing Gran Turismo 7 to add ray-traced reflections between the cars in gameplay, while continuing to support their targeted 60 frames per second. That boost in ray tracing is also delivering big wins for Hogwarts Legacy, allowing not only for better reflections and a greater variety of reflective surfaces, but also for further realism in the casting of shadows. I hope you've enjoyed this run-through of the technology behind PlayStation 5 Pro. Simply put, it's the most powerful console we've ever built, and a worthy addition to the PS5 family.
where is he looking? Why isn't he looking in the camera? He should be looking at the camera, right? He's talking to us, user.
Let me wrap this up by
Oh,
giving
no,
you a
it's
quick
okay.
look at a number of games running on the new console.
You'll never break a legend.
The reveal.
Cause they don't know we are. We're legendary.
Don't leave me hanging.
Close your eyes. It'll be worth it.
Okay.
Did I do it? Oh, what is this? What's with all the neon?
Okay, so this is the issue with a lot of people. The price of this console. Oh, it is. Oh, yeah, it is also disk. It doesn't have any disk drive. Okay. Okay. So ये console किसके लिए है? Who will be buying this console? I think the market here for this console is quite niche. People who are into buying console with latest technology, with good graphic fidelity, they might be buying this console. A normal casual user like myself, I might not be looking into buying this console, because first of all, PS5 for now is okay. So people who have PS5, who are playing on PS5, they can think they don't have value in converting themselves into a PS5 Pro user. Having said that, this console does have a 2 TB hard drive. That might be something interesting, and obviously the graphics, performance, and everything is there. For many, this might be a deal breaker, like a disk drive, क्योंकि अगर आपको अलग से डिस्क ड्राइव खरीदनी पड़ रही है, you'll have to shed out like $70-80 more, and so that will bring its cost up to $800. So yeah, there are it's a tough sell, I would say, and because of the price point, there is a lot of backlash around. I hope the Xbox है, the Microsoft है, they might bring in a console, and I hope they might try to cut off the price of Xbox new console, or they might give some discount on that, so just to be in a competition. So I don't know, it's something which was not super exciting to see for the first time. Me being a fanboy of Sony, I do have Xbox also, Xbox Series X, and lately I've been enjoying Series X more than Sony PlayStation 5. But the thing is, I hope Xbox bring in a new console with they must undercut Sony, because too much power in a company is obviously not good for a consumer, right? So let's see how it goes. I just hope Sony, there should be some other competitor like Xbox, they should undercut Sony. A $600 console, if they can produce with better performance, then it will be a deal breaker for many people. For buying a Sony console. So let's see how it goes. So I think that's it for today.